instead of thinking what the algorithm wants to see, what does my audience wants to see?
If I could give any advice for somebody who's watching this that has spare cash, it's paying for access to people that are where you want to be.
I had like a $600 phone bill I couldn't pay. And he goes, I'll just pay it for you. And I was like, awesome.
Where do you see the future of personal branding? Are you always trying different new technologies or different new softwares? What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another podcast. Today, I got the boy, Michael Gombert. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. We're here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Michael actually just moved into the same building I'm in, so that's pretty dope. But I wanted to have him on today because we've been friends for a little while now, and he runs several online businesses and manages and oversees several of them, and I want to have his insight shared to you guys. So, Michael, go ahead and give a quick overview of what you do and how long you've been doing it for.
My name's Michael. I'm 6'4". I like long walks on the beach. I consider myself a tech entrepreneur. I've been doing it since I was 13, making YouTube videos in my parents' house. Kind of growing everything from the video content side over to marketing and now to lead gen.
Okay. That was a lot right there in those few seconds then.
Yeah.
So when you were 13, what inspired you to start making YouTube videos?
So I was given a project in school to make a PSA. So the PSA we chose to do was hurricanes. So they gave us a little like flip camera. That used to be like, it looked like a big iPhone. And so we recorded a whole entire video about how to survive a hurricane. And I loved the whole entire process from filming it to planning it to editing it. And then going into it, I found YouTube. And I kind of saw the whole space kind of blow up in 2014. And I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. And I was the weird kid in school.
That's similar background because when I was like 13, 14, I was like, I want to make YouTube videos. I want to be a Call of Duty YouTuber. And I tried it, obviously, and then I just didn't really go anywhere. But that was like a similar path then to realizing the power of the internet to then starting your own online business, fast forwarding years afterwards. So run me through the first actual online business you tried, and was it successful or was it a failure?
Well, so back then they had a YouTube partnership. And so that was the first like money I made on the internet was like 80 cents. And I was like, this is awesome. I just made money posting video. That's like the first one I consider. When I was 15, I started recording weddings. And like quinceañeras started that. That's how I made my first money. I wouldn't really consider it online. My first real online business was doing websites. So COVID hit. We were just doing content and video. And we realized personal trainers, that's who our niche was the fitness industry, didn't have a way to do personal training online. So we found a fast way to make websites like with overnight pretty much and just charge a monthly fee for it. So that's kind of my first ever business we did.
Okay, so it sounds like you found the right people that can build these websites quickly. Is that right?
We did it ourselves. Okay. We found a platform to make them quicker. It came with a bunch of templates. It was easy, mix, mash. You just change up the folds. And we were getting websites done in 2-3 hours. Okay.
Then, yeah, so you essentially found a gap that people could not fulfill themselves and sell it as a service. Do you mind me asking how much of a margin you were making off that?
It was pretty much, I think the subscription was like $400 a year for an agency account. It was like $1,200 a year, and then our overhead was like $400, but we had like 40 people on.
Okay.
So it was a good we were making good money on it.
Okay.
We have still people on today still in that package, and it's like 4 years later.
That's how awesome building monthly recurring revenue is.
Yeah, I love it because it was so low. It was because people were charging $4 or $5 grand for websites, and we're like, it's going to take me 1-2 hours to do it. Just give me a monthly fee.
So right away, it sounds like you found a very lucrative way to cash flow and build a business that people need to have their own business on, which is obviously a website. One of my questions I want to ask you is there some sort of framework or system for you to follow to either catch a trend or find a problem in the market?
It's kind of looking at what you're best at, right? So we're best at lead generation and recurring revenue. So what's the easiest way we can do that in each market? Lead generation, we had people that come in for leads. Like we had an easy market because I was with all the personal trainers that I saw a need, right? They couldn't be in the persons, all gyms are shut down, but they all have Trainerize. Well, Trainerize, it just has a hyperlink you can send people. So we saw a trend in that being like, hey, people need this. Well, now I have this program that we found that's $400 a year that I just pay for, and I can make websites that has 30 different templates. Add the photos in there, make it different. I took the photos, so I was known for it, and it was easy for us to build that.
What's interesting to me about you is most of your business is done inside of your own network of referrals. So how did you build that kind of ecosystem of referrals?
It's being known for one thing and one thing only. I think it's kind of looking at it. So for myself, I was known as like the marketing website content. Like that's kind of my ecosystem was like, you need to start a business. This is what you do. You have to have a website. And so I talk a lot and I like going around people and just meeting different people. I'm very much of an extrovert. Hate being home alone. I think I've been home alone once in 3 months. So it's like I like being around people, and it's easy for me just to talk to people and then be able to figure out what they need help in, or just say, hey, honestly, here's some free advice, just take it. Started when I stopped playing football when I was 20. Really, so I literally stayed at the gym. So I was working with a gym called Self Made, and I was taking videos of all their trainers. The owner gave me a key. I just stayed there and just recorded all the trainers. I would sit there after school and just pitch all day to people coming in getting personal training that own businesses or were personal trainers. I just sat there and pitched all day. And then at the videos, pitch, pitch, pitch. It was probably maybe 2 years after that, when they opened their second location, I started getting really much inbound leads of like, hey, this is my friend Michael, check it out. This is my friend Michael, check it out. And now it's every day we're getting inbound leads.
What mental shift did it take for you to say, okay, fuck it, I'm going to go to these gyms and just pitch to these people? Because you could have just been there doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
So how did you figure out, or how did you overcome maybe that fear that some people feel?
I don't know if you want to put this in here. I love flirting with girls. I had a girlfriend at the time, so my next best thing to get that like niche or like itch was the bitch. That's kind of what it came down to.
I mean, that's a good thing.
So it's a good way to do it. No, I just love pitching and just kind of what I like to do, but also was stop playing football. I had to figure something out. I was about to drop out of college, so I had no choice. I kind of just had to make money, and the only way to make money was to pitch.
Mm-hmm. So your back was up against the wall in a way, and you're like, I have no other option. I have to just full send this.
I just had a camera, and I had to make sure I had enough money for rent and food.
There you go. And I think that's a very important lesson too, is not having a plan B in some way. Like, of course, it's good to have a safety net of some sort, which of course you would at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be split like half and half, or even 75 and 25%, you're not gonna be putting in that pursuing a goal or something over time, because you're like, oh, I can always just quit and fall back or go back to school or something in this case.
Exactly.
But it's a very common trait I see with a lot of successful people, that they don't want to settle for average or settle for like the bare minimum. So we put ourselves in these situations where we could be comfortable,
Yeah.
but we decide not to because we want more in life.
Well, you said exactly. It's your plan B should make plan A work. I heard that when I was 17 or something. I was like, I like that phrase a lot. It's true, though. If you want something, don't.
One of the things that you're building right now that recently was, to my knowledge, now live, is your AI phone caller, right?
Yes.
So do you want to go into that? Because I think it's a really cool solution for everybody watching this that has an online business.
So the AI caller is slightly not on the back burner at the moment. So the technology we've created to advance it has gone as far as it could, but it's not perfect yet. So we're only going to be using it for our inbound or for our own companies for now, until we feel comfortable enough to put it out to public. So there's one more feature we're trying to work on right now that should be coming out, I'm hoping, for the next month, to actually be able to release it to the public. But it's great because no one wants to sit down all day and make phone calls, right? So even inbound phone calls as well, you got to take those, right? Speed to lead. So let's say someone, I think one of the features that's going to be really cool is if someone puts a thing on your website, or fills out a form on your website or Facebook ad, Google ad, within 15 seconds, I have a phone call out to that person. We've seen a significant jump in live phone calls going out to people in the conversion rate on that.
I remember seeing a chart from a Go High Level event, funny enough, and it was saying that, I forget the exact percentages, but there was a massive drop off after the 5-minute mark of following up with a lead via phone call. So like the first 5 minutes, somebody enters their information on a form and they get a call. The chance of them buying down the road or buying right then and there is, I think it was like 4 or 4.5 times higher than waiting 10 minutes or more. So that's another unique solution for people to use, and I'm going to be looking forward to using that myself.
We even look at Facebook. They're pushing Messenger on there, and they're telling people, hey, you can put in a certain amount of time, if it's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., that your ad will be live. You can actually message with people in real time, and the conversion rate is so much higher.
Okay. Then I also want to talk about that too, because we touched on lead generation a bit. A lot of people that watch my channel are from the high level community and just online digital marketing in general. So go into lead gen a little bit in terms of how you got into it, opposed to just the website stuff, and where you see the future of lead generation and how you're actually positioning yourself to make the most money with high leverage and using technology.
Again, it's very much different in your industry. So if we dive into like credit card processing, for example, it's very much of an outbound. It's not much of an inbound where you can post an ad out there and people listen to it, right? It's more of a communication relationship type wise. It could be great for a call center. We have 2 call centers that do very well. Um, it's almost looking at referrals and agents and stuff like that where, hey, I might tap into your network and you might have someone else tap into their network. That's the best thing. So that's considered a lead, right? It's not a traditional Facebook ad, but it's more of a network situation. If you're looking at doing a e-commerce or a, let's say for you guys are doing the GHL, automate your actual business, that could be great for both of Facebook and Google Ad. One, people are trying to look it up. That's great for Google Ad, or you can use Google Business Profile and be very local and be like, hey, I'm the best automation person in Scottsdale. Or you can go to a Facebook where it's like, I will give you a free, let's say, there's 2 things you can do. One, you can do a free like PDF of like, hey, this is how you do it yourself. Or, hey, buy this thing for $5. It's worth $1,000. And you get that lead gen in there. And it's just giving that value, giving before you ask. It's actually a Gary Vee thing. It's you.
The left jab thing.
Yeah, left jab. Yeah.
That's so funny because like you're 2 years older than me.
Yeah, I'm
but
25.
But we still have like a similar outlook and way of executing things. Now, something else I want to touch on too because it's kind of controversial. At least people I talk to is partnerships, and there's been many people that I know as well as myself trying to do different partnerships and stuff, and they just don't seem to work out sometimes.
Yeah, I had a e-commerce product that I couldn't sell on Shopify. It was like a CBD infused product, and I couldn't sell it, so I got shut down for Shopify. And I knew a guy who was like, hey, this is the best website person I knew. Later to find out he had no clue how to make websites. He just knew how to sell it really well. So he sold me on a website, and then that same night we talked for like 3 hours. And so it's funny you talk about partnerships. I would never do anything without a partnership now, just because I lack stuff and other people lack stuff. So for Chris, he hates talking to people, and like he's really good, but he hates like talking to people and like doing meetings, stuff like that. He'd rather just do tasks. I'm the opposite. I hate tasks. I'd rather go talk to people. So I'm good at what he's bad at, and he's good at what I'm bad at. And so it's a good partnership. I can lean on him. He can lean on me, and we don't fight over, hey, this is the best way we think we do it.
That right there is a gem itself. Partnering with somebody that has opposite skill sets and opposite weaknesses to yourself. Because say, for example, we had a partnership and we both like talking to people.
Yeah.
Well, half the business is going to go neglected because we don't want to do all the shit behind the computer.
Yeah. I always say if Chris leaves his desk, I lose money.
That's a good saying.
It's a great thing to do it because he's best at his desk.
Mm-hmm. So what is Chris's background, and why do you think he decided to partner up with you?
There was a bunch of trust in there. We trusted each other. I know how I gained my trust to him was, his background is he's been in the automotive industry. His father's been in it for a super long time. So he knew that space. His background is SEO and the kind of website side. So that's kind of his background. I don't know why he chose me, but I can tell you why I chose him. So we had a great relationship. I've never met him in person until his wedding day. I was his best man at his wedding, funny enough. But the reason how I trusted him was I had like a $600 phone bill I couldn't pay. And he goes, we're making money from the website side. I know it's going to come in. I'll just pay it for you. And I was like, awesome. And then I just paid back. And like ever since then, like I was like, all right, I can trust this guy. Like he gave me something that he didn't have to do.
Yeah, you guys were boys at that point.
Yeah. I was like, let's do it. We're up until 2-3 o'clock in the morning making websites, and then just always talked on the phone,
just grinding and just chopping it up
all day. We had nothing else to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all were just building basically.
Mm-hmm.
Then that also carries me into one of the things I was thinking about on the way over here is some sort of morning routine you have too, because we were getting a cigar the other night and you were saying, I get up at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And for the regular person to hear that, they're like, what the fuck? Or even somebody that is successful is like, what's the point of that? Why do you get up so early, and have you actually seen a dramatic change in your own?
So I take cycles with it almost. So summer I'll get up earlier. Summer or winter it's kind of harder because it's not bright outside. But when I first started, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was getting up, going to the gym because I had school, and then so before that I had football. So I was always up early every single time. So I was kind of I just always got up and got early. Like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock comes around, I'm like I'm sleeping in, which is not really sleeping in most people. So I think it's kind of why I grew up, was just like waking up early. And then so now, actually this morning didn't work. I actually went for a walk this morning instead of working out. but getting it out of the way, and so I don't have to worry about it. Because like for this, I'm gonna hang out with Eric after this. There's no time to go work out after. I'm gonna hang out with my boys. So it's like I want to get out of the way before anything else. Plus, if I get out of the way, I'm gonna be fully awake when.
Okay, so kind of get the blood flowing, get it out of the way, so you can just focus on what needs to be done instead of always having that in the back of your mind. I got to go to the gym. I got to do X, Y, and Z stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, and you're also on carnivore diet right now, which is really interesting.
Yep.
How many days in?
This is 8 days. 8 days in.
Okay.
Down 10 pounds.
Down 10 pounds in 8 days. So now you definitely have a valid opinion how it is, right?
Yes.
So what do you think of it?
I miss carbs.
Yeah.
I like don't crave them, but like I'll look. Like we went downstairs to the snack bar, and I was like, man, a cookie does kind of sound good. But I will say, focus is really strong after. I feel a lot better. Really no fogginess. Sleep's fantastic. You pretty much eat meat and eggs all day. So eating bacon all day was not healthy to me before, but now I'm just smacking that all day, and it's honestly not that bad.
I also want to touch on a point a few moments ago we talked about, because this is something I actually. How did you figure out to get in the right rooms with the right people and see where someone's lacking and provide the value to them?
There's actually a book out there called The Third Door. And I read that. I remember very significantly, I would be on the treadmill in the old gym just listening to that. And kind of it's a story about a guy that wanted to interview Bill Gates. And like all the people he had to go through to get to that point. He had one mission only, to get with Bill Gates, to do an interview with him. And kind of showed different ways, the untraditional ways, to actually get in front of people. And so after reading that book, I was like, oh, there's pretty much any way. Once you have the kind of drive and thought to get into it, that's the best way you can do it. There's no like certain path, but there's different paths you can.
I never heard of that book, but that sounds like something I'd like.
It's pretty good. It's one of my favorite books. But
my goal, I never disclose it online, but my goal is to eventually have a podcast with one of the Tates. I mean, it might sound crazy, but I've already filmed with Justin Waller, one of his good friends. I'm going to be filming with Sterling Cooper in like 2 weeks, one of his good friends. I filmed with Nate Belmar, who's been to their house. I don't think it's out of reality.
No.
I think it's very there. So that's always something that's in my mind where I'm like, one of these days, somehow, some way, an opportunity is going to come up for that to happen.
Just be one DM.
It could be.
Just one DM.
Or just a mutual, like Justin Waller.
Yeah.
Or Sterling being like, hey, this guy's interviewed half of our friend group.
You're next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
what are you doing? You're here.
Buddy.
Here you go. You honestly could just run into him at a restaurant, too.
Yeah, I think I have to be over in Romania for that. But
oh, yeah, because he can't leave, can he? Yeah, I forgot about that
there.
one. Yeah.
I would need the plug.
You give me a call out there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
One of our
6 hour difference.
Yeah, one of our friends is out there in Romania right now, but
that's funny.
That's one of my goals. So that book sounds like something that you put to good use. What is one of the main takeaways you learned from it? I like one of the main ways to get in.
Not the best way to say it, but fake it till you make it almost. Like act like you should be in that room. Okay. So funny enough, I used to do this when I was like a senior in high school. We had like a hotel over there, JW Marriott, and I didn't want to like, pay for a hotel room and go swimming there. So I just act like I should have been there. And I just walked in and I was like, I'm the son of this grandma right next to me. I'm just walk on in. It's like, just act like you should be there, and people will associate yourself with being there. So it's like almost like the fake it till you make it type deal. It's just get into the right place to get in front of the actual person.
I have a funny story for that too. Just validity to what you just said and how true it is. One of my friends went to a crypto event in Dallas like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Tickets are like $1,200 a day because you're around all these people, big people in the crypto space. And he was like, fuck that. I'm not paying $1,200 a day. I'm just going to go there and just walk in.
Honestly, just and he have enough confidence. He's have enough. Yeah, exactly. Just walk in, his confidence. Just, hi guys, how you doing? My favorite trick was just be on the phone and be like, hey, oh, I see. You just walk past people. And they just go, that's fine. They're not getting paid enough to really care.
No, they're not.
Yeah, there's like, all right, this guy's gonna go. All right, go for it.
There's so many people that have broken into places too, like Airac. If anybody knows who that is, do you know who that is?
Very much.
Okay, Airac. Yeah. Like one of the main things is he got into the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight. Bro, yeah. I have a crazy story. I actually gave him the fucking ticket. I put the video up right now. I gave them the ticket to get on the floor seats of that fight.
No shit.
They didn't have a ticket.
That's so funny.
So he's a prime example of just sending it and figuring it out as you go, because that's sometimes the most important thing too. You don't know the steps you got to take until you start walking.
And don't give up on getting it. There's multiple ways to get there. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna be one easy path, like simple way, just do that. You just fucking try different ways and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think the saying is what the path illuminates as you walk, or something like that.
That's just a good one. I actually like that.
It's something like that.
Yeah, because your path's not gonna be like everyone else's.
No, no, ours is similar but also different because there's no one path that's the same. It's what you do with the information and just execute it some way, because it's gonna not work most of the times at first, and that's when you got to go back to the drawing board and be like, all right, what's working, what's not. If I can't figure this out on my own for a bit, I need to talk to somebody who's already gotten to where I want to be, and that's the whole point of having a mentor.
Funny enough, so my senior year of high school, my sister got not shipped. That sounds bad. She got shipped to Europe for like some senior trip, and then so I became a senior. My parents like, so where do you want? Like, what do you want for your gift? And I was like, just go see my grandparents, because they used to live in Burning Woods, which is like a super high end like country club in Montecito, California. So every person there is like super wealthy or something like that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go there and just ask them, what should I do? What advice do you give me? So I would go to the clubhouse, sit there, and just talk to old people and be like, what you got for me? What's your advice? Because I'm about to be 18. I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing. What do you want me? Like, what's your advice? And one really good advice I was given was, everything you do, act like it's in the front. The way you treat people, what you do, how you do it, it's in front of the newspaper.
So the mentality of everything's going to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So do it
the
with
right
good
thing.
intent.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Okay, that's
or
good.
do the best ability you can do it.
Yeah. I spend 1 to 2 or maybe even 3 days doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I'll just consume content from people that I trust and talk to people that I trust and get maybe a new perspective or some sort of new shift that could open a new avenue or a new pathway to the goal that I want that I didn't see before. Mm-hmm. What do you do in terms of when you have those days? Do you kind of put things away and say, hey, let me meditate on a few thoughts and kind of maybe brainstorm, or do you just kind of say, fuck it, we ball?
I go for walks a lot, because I feel like if I'm at my desk all day, I just go. So my like little break, usually every 90 minutes, 2 hours, I'll just go outside and just take a walk. And I go, all right, what's going on? What's my thought? But also, it's very true. Taking that one step forward or one step back to go 2 steps forward can make a huge difference. Yeah. It might not be that first time that like happens, but consistently adapting over and over time, it could just happen. Just don't give up on it.
And yeah, even when you are having those problems, or say, for example, those bottlenecks in your business, maybe there's a reason why you're having a problem. Maybe it's not your own skill set. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a time to perhaps partner with somebody, or at least get advice from somebody that has a skill set that you're lacking, or has already walked the path that you want to walk, and just listen to them.
Or even figure out what you like and what you don't like, and then delegate the rest. So when you're going to work, you're doing something you enjoy. So that problem solving that you like to do, it's there. So you're enjoying actually figuring it out. And if you don't, go to someone else.
Where do you see the future, number one, of personal branding, but also the future of leveraging technology to be integrated into your entire business? Are you always trying different new technologies or different new softwares? Or are you kind of just relying on, say, for example, Chris in this situation to find that stuff and just integrate it?
Softwares to make things easier and more organized, great. There's a program, an email program that Chris uses that I'm looking at using. It's called Superhuman. It takes all your emails, prioritize them. It uses AI to actually summarize it. So if you get a super long email, it can summarize it and actually generate you an email. So there's one thing you can't buy back, and it's time. Like Chris likes to say, they don't take credit card. They don't. So you have to find ways to like make your time back to get more done. And so in the utilization of like time, like ChatGPT is great, Superhuman's great, Motion's fantastic. Like I use Motion to track when I need to get done for the day, because I'm horrible at getting tasks done. So I just look on the list. I'm like, I have time right now to do this. Let's do it. So as technology and advancing, one personally, I love doing it using AI to actually find that out or to structure it. And then when it comes to personal branding, I think personal branding is fantastic, because every big company you know the owners. Like the ones that grow, like people actually like love wearing, like you're wearing Essential right now. Like there's a face behind it. So I think personal brand is fantastic. Plus, why not make a brand with yourself?
Yeah, people trust people, but people also buy from other people they trust, which is the most important thing. How are people going to buy from you? Well, they need to know you, like you, and trust you, right? They're the most 3 important things for when somebody is going to make a sale with you. So I believe the highest leverage thing someone can do to kind of promote that is having a personal brand and just talking about what you do, what solutions you have, what offers you have, and just being relatable too is important, because if people think you're too perfect, it's just kind of unrealistic.
We run a handful of Instagrams, and one of the favorite things we like to do is most of our clients, we post every single day, sometimes up to 3 times a day. And a good way to do it is someone follows you and they consistently see your face. Maybe they don't need to buy from you right then and there, but when they want to, they need your solution, your face is popping up on their Instagram, TikTok, YouTube all day. So want to have that personal brand around it, that people know you're the expert in that field. So be relatable.
It's free advertising at that point.
Exactly.
You're just, hey, I'm here type thing.
Like, how you doing? Like, I remember I was doing like 30 days straight, just straight posting before I'm making the clip account. But it was like every person I ran into was, dude, I love your videos. First thing they say. I'm like, awesome. That's great. Put a lot of work into it. That's kind of my honestly thought of personal brand, is just be out there.
Are you thinking of double?
I am. So now starting out, Eric and I, we have a podcast together. It goes out every single Monday, Zone Podcast. I have a YouTube video going out every single Friday. I'm going to have 2-3 posts going out every single day starting next week.
Short form. Okay.
Across all platforms.
Okay.
So like really pushing that and seeing how far we can go with personal branding and just the niche of like lead gen and
growth partnerships are an interesting one, because one of my other close friends, George, has dozens of partnerships where he oversees and connects the right people to basically step into a business, an online business. It's already doing well and already doing good, but he knows that he has the people and experience and knowledge to basically inject that jet fuel for it to take off even more.
Yeah.
So is that something you're kind of doing as well?
We know our marketing side, because we've done it for so long, like to create businesses. Like we'll take people that knew their niche really, really well, and then we just take the side of the marketing. Be like, hey, we know websites, we know how to make the logos, we have a team all around it, we know how to make the content, we know how to do the structure of what businesses, because we've done it so many times, that we can build that foundation going, okay, you do what you do best, do that.
Okay. So you're kind of selling a done for you service in a way.
Kind
or
of.
done with you.
Done with you.
I actually kind of want to go into that a little bit, offer creation.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways you can position things online. What have you had the most success doing, the done for you or done for you type of offer? And is this going to be a higher ticket or lower ticket?
Higher ticket for sure. It's easier to sell one high ticket than multiple lower tickets. Done. It's interesting to say. It's always done with you because you want to educate your client and always be touching them. That sounds so bad. You always want to be like talking to them throughout the day. So, and like the whole process. So if we bring someone for a website, we tell them the whole entire process, but it's done with them, because I need to understand their marketing, their structure. They need to go get photos, then you get video. So I think done with is a lot better than done for you, because done with, you're actually talking to the client and they're being like prioritized.
I completely agree with you. I was going to add to that, and you kind of just stated at the end there, done for you. You're giving them all the systems and stuff, right? But in my experience, they don't feel as appreciated or appreciative of the work you've done.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, all right, well, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah.
But done with you is kind of like a hand holding. And they feel like, oh, this guy's actually giving me the time of day. He's actually teaching me stuff like in an interaction, opposed to just giving you frameworks and systems and templates and shit.
I like to educate my clients.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what's working. This is my idea coming up next. And they feel like they're a part of it, which is awesome. Most business owners.
What do you guys do, and what do you do to kind of always reassure your client that you're there for them and they're not feeling...
Scheduled meetings is huge. So if it's a weekly meeting you have a client, or it's a monthly meeting you have a client, they know they can talk to you then, but they also have like their point of contact, right? So if it's me talking to them, if it's Chris talking to them, or anyone else inside the company talking to them, they always know they have that one person they can reach out to. But they also know, hey, okay, yeah, today's Tuesday, I meet with them on Friday. I'll just put my notes together for Friday's meeting. So they always think like, oh, next time I'm going to talk to them, the last thing you want to get is, hey, when are we talking next? Then you're just like, oh, shoot. So always having that scheduled meeting coming up is...
Talking about content again, in terms of now you're kind of doubling down on the personal brand, doubling down on just people being aware of who you are, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to be talking about mostly on YouTube? Just
sales is probably the biggest thing. 'Cause that's what I love the most. So it's educating people that are in the age range of 18 to 27 on how to get into sales. Because I feel like that's the most money you can make. Unless you want to be an entrepreneur, getting into some type of sales, if it's door to door, if it's SaaS, if it's medical device sales, it's something. Giving them the tools to almost touch each one of those platforms. I mean, like, which one do I like the best? So kind of just getting that. Because I have so many companies that have sales. Like I have a door to door. I have like now I'm gonna have the SaaS coming up. I have the e-commerce you can sell. I kind of want them to work for me, like sell for me.
Now, across the board, since you have salespeople across all these different companies, right? What is one of the number one transferable sales skills that you've seen across the board for high performers?
What do you mean by that? Like a skill set, like an
Yeah, like
ideology
a skill set for sales that works for SaaS, door to door.
Yeah.
What personality trait could it be?
They're obsessed with it. They just love it. They don't love the money. They don't love the product. They just love the sale. They get like a weird like
a dopamine rush.
A huge dopamine from it.
Okay.
They just love selling. I love setting. So there's two aspects of sales. One's setting, one's closing. I just love setting. I could give two shits about closing.
Okay.
And so I love setting. Like, hey, I love this. Cool. Talk to this person. They're going to close you.
Really?
I just love setting.
That's interesting.
That's how Chris and I really work together. I used to bring the people in. He used to close it. He closed me on a website. He didn't know how to make websites. Just knew how to say the right stuff.
For somebody watching this, perhaps that is still figuring things out, how would you point them in the right direction to get better at sales? And maybe if somebody isn't obsessed, how could they become more obsessed with it?
I think you can become more obsessed. I think it's kind of be like a thing. Yeah, you got to psycho with it. You just got to love it. If you're trying to get better at sales or just talking to people, there's a trick you can do is two things. One, if you're single, go to like a mall and just ask as many people as the numbers are. Like, hey, I want your number. I want your number. Just get weird. Like, be okay being denied. The second part is go to a coffee shop every morning. I went to Lulu. I got a discount. I went to Levi's. I got a discount on these.
How often does that work?
Very much a lot of times.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's my girlfriend's annoyed by it now. She literally, I was like, I'm trying to get a discount. She goes, do not say, do you have a cool kid discount? And I'm like, she knows my thing. It works though. I got 10% off at home.
Really?
They go, oh yeah, no, here's like 10% off or here's 20% off. Happened at Vans the other day.
Why do you think that works?
It just, I don't know. They just like.
They freeze up and like, yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Or they just like, oh yeah, here's a sale we're running. Or like, hey, just sign up for our email list. You get 20% off.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because they kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone either way. Where you're kind of asking for something.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird tricks you can do. I know people that do push-ups in the middle of Target. Just to get used to being looked at weird.
I think that's a bit extra.
That's a very much extra. I've never done it. I've done the.
I actually, when I was younger, did you like cold approaching and stuff?
Yeah.
I never talked about this online. I was, I was 20 actually, and I would go to. Do you know what Wegmans is? Do they have that out here?
No, I don't think we have that. It's a New Jersey thing. New Jersey.
Jersey. But no, Wegmans is basically a shop, right? It's like Costco. It's just a food market essentially.
Yeah.
And I would go into this 4 days out of the week and just go there and then walk up to every single girl I saw that I thought was semi-attractive.
Yeah.
And I would just go ask them, hey, do you know what the nearest Starbucks is? And every time they would tell me.
White girls do know what the Starbucks are.
Damn right they do. So I would always ask them, I was like, do you know what the nearest Starbucks is? Meanwhile, I know the Starbucks is fucking across the street.
He's like, don't worry. I asked 4 people this today. Yeah. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, that plus I drive past it going there to go walk inside. But I was just doing that for exposure therapy, essentially. Yeah. As weird as that sounds. Just killing that fear and killing that hesitancy that would hold me back. And yeah, almost every time I would get their number or I never ever got a rude rejection.
Yeah.
They were always like, oh, sorry, like I'm currently seeing somebody or I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, this is you nicely.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, look at this sweet boy trying to get my number.
Yeah.
Poor him.
But I feel like, because I know how it was for me, I feel like everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of young guys are overanalyzing. They're making the problem bigger in their mind than it really is in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the fear aspect around it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you do these sort of exercises, you're going to realize very quickly, wow, things are actually not that hard if I step outside my comfort zone.
No. There's a YouTube group called Sam and Kobe. Do you know them?
I do.
Yeah. How they got started was doing Vines, like daring themselves to do stuff. So they go and be like, hey, go and like do jumping jacks in front of this grandma. Or like, I think they got kicked out of the mall and they're still banned from the mall because they took a sofa and like wrote it down. I forgot what they did. They did something with the sofa. And they got kicked out of the mall for doing that. But that's what they did to like, they were two like band geeks.
Once you're kind of past that point of being afraid to talk to random people, right? Next is like, okay, now I want to start talking to the right people that I actually want to connect with, whether it be that girl or whether it be that potential opportunity to have a new door open in your life, business-wise or even relationship-wise, right? What are your recommendations, and what's a piece of advice you give somebody to get in the right room with the right people? Is it going to be going to networking events? Is it going to be finding one or two friends that kind of might introduce you to somebody else that's going to be valuable, or something completely different?
I don't like paying for groups. There's a lot of groups you can do to go pay for it. I don't really care because most of the time you just get in the right, you meet one person and one person introduces you to other people. Especially business owners. Most business owners know other business owners. So, one, find a group of people you actually enjoy being with, because last thing you want to do is go to a group and feel completely out of place, because it will show. Gyms are a fantastic place. Like, not even going to EOS, but going to like a more high-end gym. Like, go there and just like talk to people. Go at the time most people will go you want to get in front of. I'm trying to think what else. Coffee shops, not really much. I think gyms are honestly my favorite. I was thinking about moving to a different state, and I was like, how would I find friends? I'm like, probably the gym. Go find like a Gold's Gym or some like really rugged gym and just find people there. So, gym, I would say my favorite spot.
I agree with that too, because a lot of people that go to the gym have a fundamental similar belief of an outlook on life.
Or meet the owner of the gym, and they'll introduce you to a lot of people because they know everyone who's there.
Very true. Very true. So, that's a very good point. Go to the centralized person that knows everybody, and they'll be able to connect you with.
Also the gatekeeper almost.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I was going to make a point about that too. Oh, yeah. Paid groups, you said.
Yeah, I don't like paid groups.
You don't? I thought you said you do.
I don't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Paid groups are where I've had the most success and stuff.
Really? I've never paid for a group, so I don't know. Actually, I could probably not speak on that because I've never paid for a group. I just don't. I don't know. Well, as a kid, I had no money, so I had I didn't have $1,200 around there to spend or $100 to spend. I was just like, shoot, I had a gym that I got for free because I did work for the person.
That's true.
So that's all my experience. But I want to hear why you like paid groups.
I like paid groups just because it vets out a lot of people that are bullshitters. Yeah. So the prime example, I've gone to several paid groups.
Sorry, I just thought I did pay for one group and it was horrible. I'll talk about that.
How much was it?
I paid for me and another person to go. It was $600 total.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, but go on your story.
Okay. So I'm gonna add more context to this then. High ticket paid groups or that I like. Yeah. Because because I've been invited to go to like a crypto event in Miami. It's like $500 per person. The people there are still retarded. But in this case, it was Capital Club, one of them, and that was $15,000 to join. Now, why did I spend $15,000 to go stand in a room with a bunch of dudes? Basically, everybody's vetted. Everybody has their own business that is at a certain level, or their investments, or whatever it may be, right? So when I go to that event, I know for a fact that I'm going to be talking with other people that are already at a certain level. Yeah. And I'm not going to be around people that are like, as maybe you've said before, fake it till you make it type thing. Yeah. And you're going to be down to like the nitty-gritty detail and things and actually get some true value that you can apply in your life psychologically, like just thinking differently, or even just applicable business systems. You connect with somebody who knows good frameworks and shit. But that's one of my main things. Number two, I paid for a group for $3,000. Actually, no, this one I literally paid for another group 2 months ago, and it was $9,000. Why did I do that? Well, the whole premise is offer creation and learning from somebody that's done that themselves and scaled up other online offers. Okay, cool. I want to build a new high ticket offer. I want to go right to the person and right to the group where they're curating these people that are kind of launch padding their own business more. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay for that access. I'm going to pay for that information, and his things are done with you and done for you offer as well. So how can I make my offer a better done for you and done with you offer? So it's basically shortcutting that and just paying for that direct access, if that makes sense to the people.
No, I actually really like that. I'll tell you about, I have experiences about the $300 ones.
Go ahead.
So the $300 one, I will tell you off camera which one it is because you actually might know them. And I can say if you want to bleep it. Well, it was like their first event, and I realized halfway through it was their first event because he's like really tried to hard pitch it after. And I was like, I see what you're doing. Not very good execution. But the whole meeting, actually the stuff in it, I got my $300 worth because of one of the email guys there was talking about how he creates content and a whole entire like Excel sheet with it, and that's what I use nowadays for all my clients that do personal brands and do like talking heads. It's the Google sheet I have. It's like it says discovery, questions you've been asked, pivotal moments in your life, conflict with others, and you write down like those different sections and you make a video about each one or content about each one or an email. That's actually really good. So a little piece of advice you have to pay $300 for. But they had the whole meet and greet after, and I'm talking to people. I'm like, oh, so what do you do? Like, well, I just started this email thing. I'm like, oh, how many clients? None.
I know.
And I'm like, I was like the seventh person I talked to. I was like, I turned around and saw the speakers over there. I was like, I'm gonna talk to speakers. I learned to talk to them, and I actually had good relationships with them. But yeah, it was the other people around were just getting started because they can afford the $200 in it. But yeah, I wonder how the 15K was.
Well, yeah, I mean, every person I
Probably
talk
really
to is like one of them is a crypto billionaire.
Yeah.
The other guy I'm talking to just exited his SaaS company for $6 million,
Not bad.
and the other person's fucking Jordan Welch, who was like big in the SaaS and then drop shipping too, right? So you're basically paying for the access to people and their experience at these higher ticket events. And keep in mind, that was a bit of a mastermind. It was like a 4-day event over in Europe. It's not like, oh, we're going down the road somewhere. So it's a lot of included things. That
as long as it's a vacation, almost like a fun vacation.
Correct.
Going to Europe.
Correct. But if I could give any advice for somebody that's watching this that has spare cash, it's paying for access to people that are where you want to be and just kind of fast tracking that process, because you can spend 6 or however many months to get where you want, or you can spend 2 to 3 months and just pay a little bit of money up front to shortcut that process. And as you said, we can't get time back. We can get money back, right?
Yeah, you can get money back.
But that's the most important thing.
I love courses with communities. Those are really good. I've bought multiple courses to learn how to do Facebook ads, Google ads, stuff like that.
What do you think of school?
I've looked into it very slightly. We're going to be with Jensen on Saturday, and he's very heavy into that.
Okay.
So I want to kind of learn more about him from school. But it's Alex Mosey. Obviously, I love that guy.
Yeah.
I think everyone does.
I know a good amount of people that have their own school community, and they're all doing pretty well with it.
Really?
But the number one thing I think that holds people back, or in this case I should say, will kind of limit your success is your reach.
What's your, because you've only done high ticket, right?
I'm pretty big for the high level affiliate program, which is lower ticket too.
Okay, makes sense. Because you have Beamly now, which love Beamly. I'm very much of a user of Beamly.
I appreciate that.
I gotcha.
But anything high ticket, yeah, I mean, I've just been getting more into this new high ticket offer now, which is the personal branding and consulting side of that, which also goes into the networking side.
How much you charge for that?
$4K.
Why not higher?
What's that?
Is it done with you or done for you?
Done with you. So
why don't you do higher? Have you charged higher?
I'm going to plan on charging higher in the future.
Like 7, 8K?
Yeah.
Cool. I was like, you can bump it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have the social proof for it.
Yeah.
I just want to... The reason why I have it as 4K right now, and if you're watching this, it's going to go up.
So buy now.
Yeah, right?
You got 96 hours to purchase this.
But
now.
The reation why I'm keeping it 4K right now is because I want to have the first handful of people pretty much go through it, have them give me feedback how to make it better.
Yeah.
And as they make it better, price is going to go up too. I don't just want to go say, hey, 8K right away.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help somebody at a lower price, get their genuine feedback of it, how I can make it better, to come back to the market saying, hey, it's 7 to 8K, and this is why. Okay. Give it more value behind it. So that's what I'm doing with that. But regarding other offers, the most success I've had online outside of other like crypto stuff is a high-level affiliate program. Mm-hmm. Dude, super weird. This past month of June was my highest high-level affiliate month since last July.
Is it reoccurring?
Yeah. And I haven't promoted high-level at all in 7 to 8 months.
Damn.
And this last month was the highest affiliate payout.
Was it from a video?
People,
do you have UTMs on your YouTube?
What does UTM mean?
It's like a tracking thing. So you go on websites like / question mark UTM equal whatever the fuck it is. I forgot what the formula is, and it says exactly where everything's tracked from. So you can look back inside Google Analytics and know exactly. Really?
No.
You can kind of look and see where it's tracking from.
Something that I've been able to do, I guess, decently well for the high level videos is SEO and creating evergreen videos for that, which are going to be like how-to guides and tutorials. Because people are always coming across high level. Go High Level is Stripe's #1 paying customer. Nobody really knows that, but we actually talked to them at the event. I don't know. Did you hear that?
Yeah, they didn't like me.
Oh yeah,
because I was doing straight shit with them.
That's
she's like,
so funny. I remember
she's
that.
like, go, yeah, that was fun.
We were there for an event for processing for like merchant services, but high level affiliate basically pays out every month MRR. I just refer somebody to that. So I was like, all right. Over 2 years ago at this point, or coming up on 2 years, I was like, I want to make videos to leverage the shit out of this affiliate program and make evergreen videos that are going to get search results forever. And if I go to any of my high performing high level videos, the view charts, well, it's going to be reversed on camera, but they're like straight up, like predictably, like you're running ads. It's like a predictable outcome.
Instead of thinking what the algorithm wants to see, what does my audience wants to see? Because all they do is track like how long they watch the video. If it hits 100% and people consistently watch it over and over again, considers it a success. More people will like it. So that's all you have to worry about is like, I was like going back to the girls that sit there and like do this, and then like jump change and it cuts to the thing. You have to watch it all over again to see it again.
The same fit.
Just 100%. My stuff talking about business does not do well, and me talking about AI did really, really well. Me talking about a random boxing thing I had did really, really well. So I'm realizing, yeah, no one really cares a shit about business. They only care about fun stories.
That's the thing. That's what I realized too, is the general top of funnel content is typically going to be more lighthearted information.
Yeah.
But the people that stick around and they're like, oh, I actually like this guy, they'll go watch those videos where you're talking about business and they'll be nurtured. And that's why I think it's important to have all aspects of content pretty much dialed in.
Yeah.
Talk about the fun stuff, as we've done a little bit on this pod, as well as the nitty-gritty details and technicalities. They're all important for nurturing and then converting. Where can the people find you on Instagram?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Michael Gombert. I'm a co-host of the Zone podcast. If you guys want to listen to us, we have about 15 episodes out now on there, so check it out. And I appreciate having me.
Of course. I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it, brother.
Guys, stick around. We got more guests coming up. This is going to be a very, very good 2 months of podcast with good guests and all different industries. You got a lot of good guests coming up. Yeah. So, of course, don't be motivated. Stay disciplined. I'm going to see you